So I'm gonna wait till 6:30, since some of us seem to really care about the 6:30 time frame. But
It's
there we go.
6:30. Go!
Fucking live. We are live. Look at us go. Punctual
Get it on
fucks.
time for once. Let's go, boys.
I immediately broke my own rule. I forgot. I'm gonna grab a drink real quick.
Oh my god. Well, we're ready, Chad.
Somehow Patrick was here last, but he was ready. John was here second to last, and he wasn't ready.
The fuck did I do with my napkin? All right,
We all know who the diva of the group is now.
we always did. Mister, I haven't seen this trailer, even though it's been out for a month.
Which trailer?
The first one.
Elemental?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Did
saw
I
it.
miss the intros?
10 minutes ago.
No, we were just making fun of you.
Yeah.
Welcome to Fingering the Pulse. We're going to play trailers.
We're gonna play some of the hottest trailers from last week and Elemental, and we're gonna comment and react to them and talk about some of the bigger news. I don't know if y'all saw it. Star Wars Celebration happened this last weekend. Lots to talk about. We probably won't cover all of it. That's
We
okay.
probably won't cover any of it if I'm being honest.
Oh, we're covering some of it. And after that, yeah, we got some For the King action ready to go. It'll be a darn hootin' tolerant tomfoolery good time.
Trace Kings. Let's get it.
I am Patrick.
Oh, I'm John.
Never heard of
I
it.
was gonna say let's do a robot roll call, but you just threw it in there.
Roll by roll call. Patrick.
Patrick, John, Austin, Crow.
Crow. Glad we're on the same page with it.
Yeah, no, it's where else do you,
You guys
go?
like
There's-
almost signed up too.
right. No, I'm
We
pretty
watched a lot of
impressed. Okay, let's jump into this. First one up is Elementals.
Yeah.
Good to go when you guys are.
Excuse me, it's Elemental. Thank
Oh
you very
shit!
much.
No, skip, pass. No, not what I signed up for.
So, can I give a little intro?
You
Yeah,
absolutely
no,
cannot.
exclusively not.
All right, that's okay.
No, so this is the new Pixar movie. Has nothing to do with elements. Very disappointed when I found that out.
It's a lot to do with elements, actually.
Mm.
Um,
I actually think it has a lot to do with live beings, not elements. But
some say this is an adaptation of Waterboy and Fire Girl, the Flash game from Cool Math Games.
I definitely imagine Shark Boy Lava Girl.
Close, but not quite.
I got something entirely different. I'm gonna let it play out and then I'll tell you. But
Yeah, let's discuss thoughts on the other end. This
Yeah.
is coming out, what, June of this year?
Yeah.
We'll know for sure by the end of the
Yeah,
trailer.
June 16th.
June 16th. Let's go.
Only Pixar movie this year.
good riddance.
Well, I have thoughts. We'll get
Meet
to
the
it.
residents of Element City.
Element City.
Air usually has their head in the clouds.
Oh, my new jacket!
Earth can be a little seedy.
Earth is made up of so many things. Like, notoriously, it's a bunch of elements.
Water is always getting into something.
Water is two different elements combined.
And fire, as ordered, we run a little hot.
It's just an entire state of matter.
All right, you didn't watch Avatar because you're full of shit right now.
You know, we'll come
It's
back
in
to
fact
this.
a way of water.
But we all live by one simple rule.
Hey, so, Solarity of Trinity has commented, this movie looks cool, kinda kiddie though. I'll definitely say it does have good artistic, it looks beautiful.
Osmosis Jones.
Oh,
Thank you. I'm glad someone else said it.
I'm so glad you said it, because it was, like, bugging me of, like, why do I know him?
plus,
Yeah. I saw it the first time and I didn't want to comment it until we watched it again.
Why do they even have these?
Who knows?
Okay, I appreciate that joke, but why do they have that, other than to make that joke?
That's it. And I'm not mad.
Ember, I see it.
Romeo and Juliet.
This is some Romeo and Juliet shy, whatever shy is.
It's my mom's place.
It's probably an emotional state, if I had to guess.
Does that mean we're gonna get some weird, like, dark ending if this is a Romeo and Juliet story?
Yeah, the fire's gonna put out, or get put out by the water, and then the water is gonna evaporate.
God, no, he's gonna gaslight her, dude.
Try this.
Dad, those are too hot.
I love hot food.
I do love this joke.
That's a good one.
I love this joke.
I love it because you could definitely see that playing out.
You see? He likes it.
Like, it's clever, it's cute, I'll give it that.
I love it.
Yeah. See, I
They
think
are gonna make
the
scenes.
trailer gets better as it goes on. The jokes at
does.
the end hit.
It does. Oh, we didn't. I thought I looped it.
You did not looped it.
I
Undo-
definitely looped it.
Undo, do it better.
I don't
but
know if
yeah.
I can undo.
I mean, that's fine. We'll just,
We'll just
look, you don't know what we're talking about next. But yeah, so
Anyway.
as far as Elemental, it's Elemental, right?
Yeah.
I think it looks okay. It's pretty par for the course for Pixar. Golden Age of Pixar definitely dead. I feel like the message might be a little heavy-handed about, oh, the elements can't mix, and then the parents are upset that the fire's in love with the water or whatever. Like, I don't have high expectations for it, but I bet you anything it's going to be serviceable, probably like 8 out of 10. You leave the movie having a good time, maybe you slap it on for movie night one night.
Here's my thing. It looks like at first glance, it looks like, oh, Pixar's doing that thing where they take an abstract concept and say, what if they had emotions? And I love that. But then I look at who's directing this, and the only other Pixar movie he's directed is The Good Dinosaur, and that gives me a lot of hesitation.
That was a
Good
beautiful
Dinosaur,
movie.
ironically, their worst movie.
Yeah, ironically, and which is Pixar's been very mid for me lately. The exception for that being Turning Red, so I want this to be good.
I enjoyed
But
Turning
at the
Red.
same time, I love Turning Red.
My
but,
only issue with Turning Red, and this
We're not
isn't
talking
even,
about Turning Red.
it's an issue with Pixar as a whole,
No one cares.
is like, okay,
I'm kidding. Go on.
it's just that, like, don't get me wrong, love Turning Red, good movie, enjoyed, would watch again, but there's a message behind it. But you go back to like a Bug's Life, there's no fucking message. It's just fun, goofy characters and an exciting plot. Go back to Toy Story, debatably there's a message about having
Toy Story-
self-confidence.
But
But
it's
like,
all about classism, dude. The upper class treating the lower class poorly.
go back to like Monsters Inc. They're just fun films to watch. I don't need to learn
No,
something coming out of this.
There's definitely a message to that too. You're just not looking hard enough.
There's not as big of a like Turning Red. There is a definite message with a definite takeaway made by definite metaphors.
Yeah, but you can say
They've
that about
lost
any
the
Pixar.
like. They're still good. Like Turning Red, I enjoyed, but they've lost the simplicity.
I can't believe they made a movie about saving the planet that wasn't subtle. I can't believe they did that.
Okay, wait. So Celerity of Trinity saying, like kids don't give much care into deep, crazy messages. Like just make some goofy characters and a fun plot. I don't disagree. You know, entertain me. I don't need to learn something by the time I leave the theater.
Yeah, that's where this one gets me is it just looks like they went, let's make Zootopia again.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Mad
it's
Zootopia
the
vibe.
same base concept other than there's a romance involved rather than like the bunny going to the big city storyline. It's like there's the different groups and they live in different areas and they don't mix.
But also, like,
Another key difference.
mhm.
There's not going to be an army of furries at this one.
Yeah. So why would I
They're gonna
even go
hurt
to
or
see
help
it at
them.
all?
Well, all right. Have you seen the online discourse around the Fire Girl? I'm just saying.
I haven't, but I believe it exists.
It's been there since the poster. All right. Anyway,
Dude, it's any animated female. Art
With
exists.
curves.
Dude, you don't need curves. Someone else will draw the curves in.
yeah, that's true.
Ultimately, I think the saving grace of this movie is it's going to go to Disney Plus, and I will absolutely watch that.
Is it? I thought it was
On
going
Disney
to theaters.
Yeah, no, I'll see
Well, it's
that.
going to go to theaters, but it's going to go onto Disney Plus because it's a Disney movie. Is my
I'll check it
point.
out on
So,
Disney. Probably won't pay
I'll
to
just-
see it.
Yeah,
That is
I'll
something else I
watch
wanna
it
point-
as a trailer. Or
That is
as
something else I wanna
uh,
point out.
scene.
This is the first Disney or Pixar movie that wasn't just released on Disney Plus since Onward. Every other movie since then was straight.
God, I did not like Onward. It was
I
boring.
either, and it's one of those things where it's like, well, what's Disney doing to Pixar? Are they kind of slowly edging them out, or and then
No,
Lightyear? I guess
they
Lightyear
just
was
forgot who
theaters.
the audience is.
I think Lightyear was theaters, but point being, I'm glad that we're getting more of these movies back in theaters, getting more people back in theater seats. I'm a firm believer of going to the movies and stuff, so I'm glad to see that.
Okay,
Not just have it being dumped on Disney Plus.
so final thoughts. What are we thinking on Elemental? I'm thinking 7.5 out of 10 has potential,
Yeah.
but I expect nothing great from it.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Looks
All
like
right.
it could be funny. I'll watch it once.
I'll watch it. Yeah, I don't know if I'll see it in the theater, but we'll see.
And Solarity back in chat wondering how we're feeling about the Ahsoka show leaks because he thinks it's going to pop off. So
I
let's
haven't
jump
looked.
into that and
Feel
we'll
sneak
comment
peek,
on
I
the
feel
other
much
side.
better about this.
All right, I'm
All
ready
right.
when you are.
Alrighty, here we go. This is Ahsoka. I don't think she needs an introduction.
It's coming.
Wait, they let girls be Jedi now? 2023.
Sense it.
That scene right there, that's what
Mm.
got me right off the bat. That's a
Mhm.
sick shot.
This is
And then the logo treatment. Ah,
for some war. For others,
I'm excited for the show.
power.
I admit it exists. We stand two sabers.
Sabers, 100%.
Been a while. Things have changed.
Sabine. Oh,
Started
man.
hearing whispers
Here's Mon Mothma.
about Thrawn's return
Come on. Come on. He's back.
as heir to the Empire.
Oh, she said it. She said it.
She said air, that's an element.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare for it.
It all connects.
Imagine like Maul with more flexibility.
There aren't many left.
I'm sure you could Google that and
Hey,
someone on
boy.
DeviantArt, he's got you.
Legend. She's not a Jedi. You can't say that.
Patrick, do you have loop set this time?
Well, yeah,
It should be. It's checked on my screen, so if it doesn't loop, then this program's lying to me.
streaming in August. That's too far.
It's actually, it'll line up pretty well. Yeah, no, it didn't. Okay.
Okay, so that's just
So-
broken wrong.
Yeah, it's probably just a, YouTube
Okay,
thing not working on a different thing. But anyway.
I'm gonna be that guy. I'm not impressed.
Oh no.
I
Oh no.
don't like. I'm not unimpressed. It's not like I look at that and see bad. I look at that and I just don't care. I like the original trilogy. I like the Clone Wars animated series. Loved Ahsoka in that, especially like what was that season 6 or 5 where she really gets to be the main focus for a while.
Like the last 2 seasons, yeah.
Yeah, no, loved what they did with her there. Loved that she comes back in Rebels. That was freaking awesome. I like her as a character, but I didn't want to see a whole Ahsoka show. It's just not for me. Not the target audience.
Turns out I am, because Ahsoka is my favorite character in all of Star Wars. That's not an exaggeration.
What about Gonk
I-
Droid?
That's everyone's favorite, so he's automatically not number one.
And
Just-
Babu
Okay, that's
Freak.
fair.
And Babu Freak. But I watched the Clone Wars, growing up and shit, and then I went back to it and actually watched all of it, and I was like, her arc is just so perfect in that show.
Mhm.
And then it just only gets continued further in Rebels. Like the
Mhm.
season 2 finale is one of the best things they've ever made in Star Wars. Period. End of discussion. And
Gonk
to
Gonk.
see that, then to see her get announced at cast to be Rosario Dawson for The Mandalorian
was
season
A
2.
plus choice.
Absolutely. And when
Like
she
from the
actually
jump.
exactly, and when she showed up, I was like, perfect. And that episode she showed up in had a very different feel compared to other Mandalorian episodes, and she was perfect. And she shows up in the Book of Boba Fett, hanging out with Luke Skywalker. What's not to love about that? And then they're like, okay, now let's continue the storyline that started in Rebels. And granted, I haven't finished Rebels, but I know
Neither
more or
have I.
less what happens towards the end. And they straight up recreate one of the last shots of Rebels in that trailer in live action.
So, hot take
And
from Celerity, real quick. Let's see. The Ahsoka 332nd troopers are legit better than Ahsoka. Just give me some sick armor and I'm going to war.
yeah,
This
no,
guy's got
that's
some
fair.
thoughts.
No, that's their armor in like I'm assuming he's talking about the clone troopers and the Siege of Mandalore, the end of Clone Wars, and they looked fucking sick. I have to agree.
A quick Star
Um,
Wars side note: I still need to watch Bad Batch. That's been on my to-do list for too long now.
I keep hearing mid things except for when it's really good, so I've also put it off. But I'm gonna jump in because they announced season 3.
Bad Batch
and
is
Star Wars.
great. It's got Celerity's endorsement. I'm sold.
They've got one more season announced. It'll be the last season, so I'm gonna jump in before that comes out. I'm excited. I've heard really good things about the end of season 2.
I loved
So
the Clone Trooper arc in what was it? The Clone Wars animated series where they're like, running around because oh fuck, it turns out there's microchips in all of us, and the one guy's
Yeah.
going insane. I loved that, and
It's
I
one of
just
the
want to
best.
see the results of like, okay, so we got the microchips thing going on, and we're defective, and they're not going to work. I want to see that arc continued.
but I'm just happy to see them continue the storyline that started in Rebels. They're bringing Thrawn back. I'm assuming they're gonna bring Ezra back. I'm just very excited to see more Ahsoka, just because I think because Dave Filoni's the guiding hand behind all things Ahsoka. He created her. He's kind of
Mhm.
shaped her into what she is today. And I think, if anything, it's why I think her everything she's been in has been so consistently good, or has at least felt on model for her. So I'm excited for this. This has the potential to be okay, but I do think, from a bias standpoint, I love Rebels. I love Ahsoka. That I'm gonna have a really good time with this.
Yeah, well, there is an interesting story too, right? Because I think Filoni, when they first, because Ahsoka was created for um, Clone Wars, the animated show, right? Originally, like she wasn't, and then they didn't really love the way the character was going early on because she kind of just acted like the childish,
Yeah.
like naive one, and
Mhm.
so they had like a whole arc change where she became kind of what she ends up being that leads to the part where she leaves the Jedi Order and all of that. But
Yeah, there's a
uh
bit of that for sure. That's kind of sprinkled throughout, though. Honestly.
yeah, but I'm just saying like there was a point early on when they created the
Mhm.
character where like
Yes.
it wasn't necessarily working all the way and they workshopped it.
So,
And
gotta
turned
throw
into
this
what
in
is
real
a
quick. Gotta
great
throw
arc.
this in real quick.
That's kind of Filoni's thing, where he'll start with something and then it just gets better with time. That's just Filoni, honestly.
Celerity up in the chat wanting to know our favorite non-human characters in Star Wars.
The Porgs, obviously.
You go to hell and you
Remember,
die.
Everyone's favorite.
remember when they tried to make that a thing?
Or the
Everybody
fucking-
knows the real favorite ones are those sea cows with the titties.
Yes, exactly. That whole
Green milk,
island of
blue milk.
animals is just
Mhm.
incredible.
Non-human character. Oh, probably Black Chrysanthemum is probably my favorite. He's dope.
Man, I
He's a
might have to go. I don't even know. Kit Fisto? Kit Fisto's pretty cool,
sh-
but
Yeah, he's probably.
there's
my
so
second
many to
favorite.
choose from. Like, I love me some Kit Fisto. God, the first animated Clone Wars series where he has that whole, like, underwater battle, that
Yep.
was freaking
Yep.
awesome.
Yep, he might have been the only character I played in the original Lego Star Wars because of that.
I definitely played him a lot. I also played Shock T a lot.
Shakti's cool. Ayo Sakura also solid.
Shock T just, proto-Ahsoka.
Same species. I don't know if you can say that.
She was just like, let's do this. And then they were like, let's do this, but cool. Give her anything to do.
Well, there's a deleted scene where Anakin straight up murks her, and we didn't see that in the movie.
Thank God they
Yes.
left in the child murder scene, though. That movie wouldn't have been the same without child
Yeah.
murder.
No, it makes you wonder what could have been.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to give actual thoughts on Ahsoka now.
No, you never got your favorite non-human character.
I don't know, dude.
Kiadi Mundi.
I'm not deep enough into the Star Wars lore. I mean, I don't know. I don't have a ton of thoughts on it, honestly.
He also wants to know our most underrated clone commanders. I do not have one. I do not know the clone commanders well enough.
I'm a Rex boy. He's not underrated.
Oh
I
yeah,
just love him.
100%. Facts.
just-
Okay,
love
out
Rex.
of
I
Rex and
agree
Cody
with
though,
him.
I'm picking Cody.
Cody doesn't get as much to do as Rex does in the Clone
No,
Wars, so it's
but I like it. You know, Rex, he's there with Anakin. He's kind of the rough and tumble badass. Cody's
Yeah.
there with Obi-Wan. He's definitely more responsible and well thought out. You know,
well,
I
but
just-
Rex is also kind of that for Anakin and Ahsoka, especially.
Yeah, no,
towards the end.
he's not like incompetent by any means. I just like the like not laid back, but more like upright professionalism of Cody. You know,
That's fair.
respectability.
Yeah, and that's more because his commander is Obi-Wan Kenobi. You know, um, but I just love Rex because he survives Order 66. He doesn't get decommissioned. We see him in Rebels.
Oh, don't get me
We might
wrong.
see
Yeah,
him-
I love Rex. Just of the two, I like Cody more.
Like when he meets up with Ahsoka for the first time in Rebels, I might have cried. I love those two.
Now I'm gonna have
Anyway.
to watch Rebels.
Yeah, do it.
I need to catch up on all of it. I just have a hard time with.
I've seen the parts of
Animated
Rebels I've
shows.
seen, but I need to watch the whole dang thing.
Like they're making Rebels very relevant right now.
So
Like Zeb showed up in The Mandalorian. We just saw most of them in live action in the Rebels crew. It's awesome.
Wait, favorite non-human character? I forgot about Cad Bane. I love me a bounty hunter.
All right. As long as we don't talk about him in the Book of Boba Fett, we're good.
See, I didn't know he really existed until that point, and so
Dude,
Nice.
you gotta
So
watch
much
Cad
better.
Bane in the Clone Wars. He's like the first heist they pull off. I love
so
him.
good. He's one of my favorite villains.
All
for
right, so
sure.
Austin, you were trying to actually talk Ahsoka a minute ago.
yeah, I put my general thoughts on Twitter when it first came out.
all
But
right.
like my big thing on this one is I'm excited to see people who can wield a lightsaber and wield a lightsaber well. Like even if you want to talk Obi-Wan, like Obi-Wan didn't really because he had been like
Yeah.
a protector for so long that he had kind of lost his skill in it.
He
And
was-
as
yeah,
good
like
as the
PTSD.
Mandalorian is, he does not use the dark saber, which isn't even really a lightsaber, but
It's
so
literally
seeing,
the opposite.
so
250
seeing
bucks,
people
hilarious. That's nuts.
with that like is very exciting, and it's more than one character, right? Like we get the scene in the Mandalorian with Luke, which is decent, but I didn't love that it was Luke.
Mm.
Ended up being that, but that's
You don't
a
even see
conversation.
him like actually fighting most of the time. It's just
Yeah.
security cam footage too.
So the chance of seeing Ahsoka fights some people from the dark side with sabers who also know what they're doing, I'm very excited for. The show still looks great. I mean, just like the Mandalorian with the new technology they've implemented for
Volume.
that. I mean, it's
Yeah.
gonna look great.
Mhm.
So I'm excited for it. I don't know much about the actual storyline with Thrawn, so I can't really speak to that part of it. But
I will say too,
it's the
when
most
you're done-
exciting thing we're gonna look at.
and just kind of piggyback off that, like at Star Wars Celebration, they're like, "Hey, we got a few shows planned out, and then Dave Filoni's going to do his own movie that ties all the Mandoverse stuff and just closes it off, and that's the end of it." And I think Thrawn's going to be a huge piece of that. I mean, Ahsoka straight up says he's going to be the heir to the Empire, which is a famous book that's a lot of people love. That it involves Thrawn, I believe. I've never actually read it, but I know people really love it.
And that's needed because Mandalorian needs to stop at this point.
Yep, and that came weeks after John Favreau was like, "Yeah, it'll go on forever." I guarantee he said that so that he didn't give anything away from Star Wars Celebration, but like still, I'm really excited to see because they also showed a little bit more of Skeleton Crew, which will also take place in the Mandoverse. So I'm excited to see how they kind of tie it all together. I know Ahsoka will be a big part of starting that change, so I'm just really excited for all of it. If you can't tell,
No,
Where are
all
we
in
at
all, like I
with
said,
Rogue
I'm
Squadron
not
movie?
really a big fan of the extended Star Wars universe, but just based on and again, I don't know the story at all, but just based on production value and the effort they've put into this and what I've know and have heard and seen of the Mandalorian and such, I think I can safely give this 8.5. Like
Yeah,
I
this will
expect
be
good
solid.
things from it, even if I'm not going to be the biggest fan myself. I expect it to be good and well received.
I feel like we'll probably be talking about it every week after the episodes come out.
I'll definitely have to keep up to date on it then. Gonna have to
Mando
binge
is-
Rebels.
Mando's one of those things too, where it's been pretty not great this whole season, but yesterday's episode really is like, oh shit. But
I tried The Mandalorian. That I can
We're
safely
gonna talk
say I don't
about
give a rat's ass about. That
This
show
last
was
season
just
would've
made
been
to
mine.
peddle Baby Yoda merch.
his name is Grogu. Fuck off.
I don't care what his name is. It was made to pet. Which I actually okay. So I didn't know that.
I disagree.
No, I got to go back to this Grogu thing. There's a dog at my work with that name, and I always just thought they named it something random. I didn't realize that's Baby Yoda.
That's hilarious.
No.
That is funny.
It's like a 200-pound cane corso, big intact
Which
male
makes
dog.
that even funnier.
That's-
because
Yeah, that's
funny.
amazing. Glad I know that. Okay. Anyway, though, final thoughts.
I'm excited.
looks good. Can't wait.
All right,
I want to watch this trailer. I actually haven't watched it yet.
give me
haven't
2
either.
seconds, and we're good to go.
So this is Star Wars Visions. I'm sure everyone in the chat knows what it is, but
I'm excited for this one.
It's an anthology animated series that they did a season of already. That was mostly Japanese animation studios. I think they're trying to do a little different this season, and I won't spoil it because I've seen some screenshots. But I just love that they're letting people be creative with Star Wars, even and they're like,
Right.
it doesn't have to be canon. Just go wild. I'm like,
I
great.
loved season 1 of this.
Yeah, it's so good. Anyway, here we go. Oh shit.
Right here, I'm warning you now. Coming up, best animation of anything we're gonna see tonight.
Oh my god, look at
Right,
that. Oh, I
look
love
at
yeah.
that.
Holy
Just wait till the
shit.
battle starts. Sorry, mild spoiler.
Need this. Oh, this looks so cool.
Look at
It
that.
looks like the paintbrush style of it.
Everyone has an inner light.
Oh my god, stop motion kid.
Follow the light.
Dude, it's Katara.
I always knew you were meant for bigger things.
I like
What
that.
if you just keep going?
That's-
No need to fear. There are others like you here.
I saw it myself. She has special powers.
Can you get your porta potty off
Let's
the
go, dude.
She's a total.
Wallace and Gromit, Star Wars.
That's
Don't be
yeah,
afraid.
that's Aardman Animations for
If
sure.
they don't play the theme song in the background.
It's showtime.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
The storm is approaching.
I can fight them. I'm strong enough now.
No one is stronger than them.
We can beat them.
I get that none of these are directly connected, but my brain is still trying to piece together what the story being told here
Oh,
is.
and May 4th, that's perfect.
Yeah, Cinco de Quattro.
We cannot choose where our calling takes us. Only whether or not to answer.
God, that looks so good. That looks so good.
It genuinely, I'm excited for that for
I'm
sure.
gonna have what is potentially a controversial statement. To open
Okay,
this
go
one.
first so you can set us off. Light the fuse.
We'll see. I don't know. I guess I don't know your guys' opinion, but this right here is the epitome of what Ryan Johnson was trying to do with The Last Jedi. He was trying to open the Star Wars universe.
Oh
to
wait,
get
no!
out of-
Quick timeout.
Stop.
I'm sorry. We didn't shout out. I didn't get a notification. Celerity followed us. We're up to 4 followers. Thanks, Celerity.
Yeah. Shout out. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Go on.
That's good. Yeah. For the flaws that movie has, the ending where he tries to make it so, like, with this kind of open thing where anyone can be a Jedi and can kind of find joy in this world. That's exactly what Visions kind of personifies, is tons of new ideas and ways to show off the Star Wars universe. And it's frankly something that has been needed. Now, I mean, it happened with Visions, the original season 2, but it's something that's been needed in the Disney era of Star Wars for sure. And I think that it looks great.
That's not a controversial take. I was ready for some heat to be thrown.
I think
Well, the-
he's saying
the
that
Last
he liked
Jedi
episode 8, what
Is
he's
like, yeah, like The Last Jedi is one of is a very kind of
Wait,
hit
I'm
or
sorry.
miss with everyone.
I must have missed the part where you talked about Last Jedi because I was obsessed with We Got a Follower.
You
Uh,
said it for sure. And I agree with them, honestly. Not a hot take.
no, from what I
Should
did
be a
hear,
hot
I
take.
definitely agree with you.
No, I actually really like Last Jedi. Just gonna quick leave that lying there, and I'll walk away from it very quickly. But
I don't. I'm not
I'm
even going to
very
bother fighting on those right now. I'll save that for a rant.
there. You go. And I'm really excited for Visions. I did not expect a well, that's not true. I expected quite a bit from the first season, and while not all of those episodes hit as hard as some of them did, the ones that hit really hit for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love that they're like, hey, let's do something different. Let's give all these different animation studios free reign with the concepts that we've introduced in Star Wars, like lightsabers, kyber crystals, the Force, the Empire, and let's just let them have fun with it. And that's exactly what they did in every single short. And they all just rule. And they're just, even if one doesn't grab your attention, even if the story's not super gripping, you don't have to wait long. None of them are over 20 minutes. Like it's and there's some that end you're like, oh, I want more of that. And then they say, hey, we're making a book based off of this short. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. So I don't know. Long story short, I'm excited that they let people have free reign and that every short looks different and
Mhm.
feels different and it's not tied to any canon. It can be its own thing. And I'm so happy and excited about it.
When
I
I
love
saw,
when
oh,
people
sorry, I thought you were done.
Nope, that's it. I'm good.
Like, when I saw the first season of Visions, I was so excited. The first anthology series I saw was the Halo one. I don't like Halo Legends, I think it was called.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
And I didn't know what the frickin' anthology was. It blew my mind. I thought it was beautifully done and awesome, and I'm so glad it was like a standalone project, at least to my knowledge. So when I heard Visions was coming out, I was pumped and I like watched it day one. I loved it. I loved like the band episode because it wasn't anything like you'd
Oh yeah.
expect from Star Wars, but it was just such a fun little adventure.
Just
That
completely
samurai one came out
Mhm.
like peak Wano, and physically I could not have been harder. Like that just was fucking amazing and resolves itself in the best way.
Mhm.
Man, so now that like I loved it, I've only watched it once. I'll be honest, I forgot it happened. I have a lot of concussions. But now that I know season two's happening, gonna rewatch one for sure. Absolutely gonna be jumping into two because you can only expect good things.
Yeah, and I love that they've kind of expanded it to more than just Japanese studios now.
Yes.
Like we saw Aardman, I think we saw one that looked almost like a French animation almost. So I'll be curious to see. I'm sure they showed most of what we'll see in the season, or at least in terms of like which art styles will be present. But I'll be curious to see how they're able to push those to their limits to show what they can do with
Yeah,
Star Wars.
and while I'm incredibly open to that, and I want to see what new angles they can bring to the table, I gotta say I'm a big fan of what I've seen the Japanese studios do in terms of
Oh my
anthologies and
god,
whatnot.
yeah, no,
But
100%
especially
agree,
that like first opening one we saw in the trailer with the lightsabers that looked
dude.
paintbrushy, like I
That
cannot
yeah,
wait to see that.
easily probably my favorite of the different art
Hmm.
styles we saw.
They came out swinging with that one.
They knew what they had.
I'm so
I think
excited. What's the release date
I
for that?
May 4th.
Oh,
oh, it's
fucking
almost here. Let's go.
Cinco de Quattro, Cinco de Quattro.
Cinco de
Let's go.
Quattro.
I really think it of the many problems that Kylo Ren has, one of the
Mhm.
best things is his fucking lightsaber and the
Yes,
crudity of it. And the
agreed.
fact that it's being integrated more and more into other lightsabers is great.
It'll be in Jedi Survivor stuff like that. You can use the hilt.
Save it for the
Like
rant.
like
Save it for the rant.
But
oh
yeah,
god.
I'm really excited for it. I love new and different and being yeah.
Yeah,
I've already said what I
unfortunately,
said.
there's not too much we can say about it because it's not anything besides 6 or 7 or 10 short individual stories. So, no
Yeah,
idea
We
what to
should
expect
do
besides goodness.
we
and we'll
should do a
probably
recap before Visions too.
we'll probably talk about both volumes once before this one comes out and then once this new one comes out.
Absolutely. But
So I'm
are
all
we
about it.
ready for this next one?
Ah, fuck yeah, dude.
Okay,
We're taking a
jumping into
slight
Marvel
turn.
Studios' The Marvel. Unfortunately, out of Star
Um,
Wars stuff for the time being. But space is Star
Don't
Wars.
worry.
There's wars in
We're not-
there.
Not completely leaving space.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm all set up over here.
Cool.
Captain Rambo? What the hell are you doing?
Entering the jump point perimeter. Gonna get you some readings, Fury. Hello? Hello?
Captain Rambo?
Fucking BC Boys.
I did have to give it up once I heard like, oh shit, that is the Beastie Boys.
Is this an Avengers test?
Where's Captain Rambo?
So is this gonna be a movie or a show?
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay.
I definitely thought it was a show at first too.
So did I. I was confused when I saw her. I was like, wait, she's in a TV show?
Hi.
We're looking for Kamala Khan.
Okay, so our powers are entangled. I can manipulate light energy, and you can totally show you. Not again. Hi.
Where's our daughter?
Wherever you were.
I still don't love that of an origin for Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, no, they definitely tried to play it off as comedic, and it just ruined the mystery, you know? Like, it could have been something cool, it didn't matter what it was. You know, he's a badass, you know he has an eye patch, so he did something badass, but it turns out it was a cat. Having worked with many a spicy cats, that's incredibly plausible, I'll give him that.
All right. It's the Marvels.
I
Mid.
I had so many questions after watching this trailer, and I must be missing something from the stuff that I haven't seen because I didn't watch Miss Marvel.
Mm.
But
That's Captain
I
Marvel.
understand. I understand.
Oh
You're
wait,
not wrong.
sorry.
Not who I'm
You meant the
thinking
show. You meant I forgot the show existed. You meant the show.
Technically, there's at least 2 Captain Marvels present in this movie, but anyway.
of. Yeah,
With the reference to another one. Go on.
I understood that they are their powers are tangentially connected, but I didn't realize they were that connected.
Well, we can jump into our general thoughts in a second, but I Kamala gets her powers. It's a little different than in the comics because she's an Inhuman in the comics, whereas in the MCU she's a mutant, and she's kind of able to use these bangles that we think
Does that make her
are,
wait? Does that make her the first mutant in the
I
MCU?
believe
No,
so.
because Deadpool's in the MCU and he hangs out with
Not yet.
Colossus.
He's not in it yet, but
Is he
He's
not?
in it yet.
Oh, I thought he
Not
was
yet.
connected, at least tangentially.
No, he'll probably join in the third one, but no, because Black Panther 2 wasn't out yet, so she's probably the first one. Because Miss Marvel came out before She-Hulk, and there's a mutant in there too. But anyway, point is, she has these bangles that my theory is it's connected to their powers. I don't know how Monica Rambeau is tied into all of it, because her powers are more or less from Wanda and WandaVision. But
Oh wait,
I do
no,
like
Wanda,
that-
she's a mutant. And Quicksilver.
not necessarily in the MCU. They call them
Yeah,
mutant.
they can't be mutants because they were in the story before Disney rebought.
I don't
Yeah.
care. They own mutants now, and they're like canonically mutants. And if you change the
They're-
name, they still have
no.
the X gene going on.
They might
That's
go back and
incorrect.
they might loop back to it and say, "Hey, actually, it turns out you're a mutant." We might get that. I
No,
can totally
head
see
I would
canon
hate
surpasses
that.
all. Head canon is above all else.
Which is fine, but we're talking about actual canon.
right.
I'll shoot you with an
So-
actual cannon.
Okay, so anyway, I like how the bangles and switching places is a nod to the original Captain Marvel because that's how Marvel would come onto the scene. Like I forget who originally had the bangles, but he would say what Shazam or clang his wrists together and then turn into the original Captain Marvel. So I like that this is a fun little play on that because they've kind of otherwise. Well, no, they haven't. Never mind. But it's just a fun little nod that they're also using as a fun little gimmick for these to make these 3 team up, which I'm all about.
So have we seen Carol and Rambo meet post her movie?
Nope,
So
we have
that's
not.
going to be part of this then?
Yeah, that's getting into my thoughts a little bit. I'm very excited for it. A lot of it is because I love Kamala Khan, but a lot of it is I'm interested to see their three-way dynamic go on because Kamala's obsessed with Carol, Monica hates Carol, and we don't really know what's up with Carol because she hasn't been treated super great in the MCU. So I'm excited to see what they do with all three of these pieces on the board. Just because, yeah, it's like Austin was saying. There's some stuff that needs to be discussed, and I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Generally speaking, I'm marveled out. You know, I loved Phase 1, Phase 2. Phase 3 was a great place to end it. I didn't enjoy anything about Phase 4. This is technically Phase 5 now, right?
Yep.
Okay. I will say, this looks better than Phase 4. Like, this
Yeah.
looks entertaining. One of the things, like, I really didn't like about Captain Marvel is at no point did I feel threatened. It just seemed like she was an invincible badass with all the power she could ever want, which in fairness is how the character is. She's incredibly powerful. But I like that they've nerfed her. I'm not saying the other two are incompetent and weak, but you know, having to like share your powers or work as a team with weaker members, like she's no longer just invincible badass. She's got a handicap, and I feel like that's a good angle to play to make the character more interesting. So, not thrilled
Uh,
about it myself, but it definitely looks more promising than a lot of the things Marvel's put out.
Yeah. I have a hard time currently kind of placing how I feel about MCU now that it's gone galactic. There's a lot of stuff that uh, I don't know, it just doesn't it there's a lot to be said about um like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man and how back then it was about caring and helping the people of New York. And when was the last time that you saw any of the members of the MCU actually save anyone other than other superheroes? And the more galactic it's gotten, the farther away from any kind of like grounding or anything like that has been in the MCU. And it's hard. I don't know. I don't know how to place it yet. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy is still one of the best movies, and that was galactic before the whole MCU got
Yeah,
galactic.
but it's like you just said to me the other day. Ever since going galactic, the Guardian of the Galaxies hasn't felt less relevant. Like
Yeah.
it's so
So
pointless.
I'm not sure how to feel about that more generally. But I think this show in specific, I'm sort of intrigued by. I didn't love Captain
Still a
Marvel.
movie.
Rambo's character is interesting. Oh, did I say TV show?
Yeah.
The first time I watched it, I was fully convinced it was a TV show.
So was I
Anyway,
until they said
this-
like
this-
coming to theaters. I was like, oh, it's
this-
a movie.
Yeah, so I wasn't in love with the Captain Marvel movie. I thought it was okay. Rambo is in WandaVision. That's when she's in, right? Was interesting, and I haven't seen Miss Marvel. It didn't look that interesting to me, but I'm intrigued to see the crossover of it. So I'm gonna watch it, and we're gonna see what happens. I may end up not like watching an episode or two, not liking it, and just not continuing, but we'll find out. God damn it! Fuck!
No, please, just watch an episode or two.
God damn!
Just
Holy
40
shit.
minutes into the movie, it's like, yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll be back.
Oh my fucking god!
Um,
I'll watch the movie and come out the other end and think it's okay.
You're not going to
Yeah.
watch two of them, though?
Nah, not two of them.
Not
Yeah,
if there's
I
a
mean-
Marvels 2 and I think the first one is mid. I'm not gonna watch the second one.
I'm not
Even if
super
they make it a
impressed,
goddamn
but I'm a
TV show.
lot more impressed than anything Gen 4. What's it called?
Phase 4.
Phase
You got
4,
me
yeah.
questioning it. Jeez.
No, I'm more impressed than anything Phase 4 threw at me.
What is reality, honestly?
But,
Honestly.
we'll see what they do with it. We'll see where it goes. Maybe this is the start of the Marvel revival.
Yeah, and I'm cautiously optimistic. Like I don't love all of Monica Rambeau's character in WandaVision. Obviously, Carol's had her issues, and there's been a lot of behind the scenes stuff that caused that. and Miss Marvel, as strong as it started, kind of fizzles towards the middle and then kind of comes back at the end, and she does save people. Okay, um, and I'm hopeful that we
Haven't seen
know
it.
they each get kind of their own little quasi redemption. Even though I think Kamala is easily one of my favorite characters in the MCU that came out in Phase 4, but I again cautiously optimistic. This one was supposed to come out in like July, and then Blade had all of its issues, so they pushed the Marvels back because it was also it was supposed to be out. Actually, I take that back, in February or March, so we were supposed to have it by now. But they pushed it back. They switched places with Ant-Man the Wasp, which I didn't like, but I'm hoping now that Bob Chapek's out and Bob Iger's in, that we're going to see more quality control, because I think that was something Kevin Feige was pushing for as well. So
They
I don't know if
definitely that's one of the reasons I'm hopeful is just the change in management. I'm hoping they're not just
Right.
going to push things out slower. They're going to take their time and do it right.
Right, because I think Secret Invasion will come out a little too close for that to be a part of that, and I think this might also be part of that as well. So I don't think we'll see the full effects of that till end of this year, early next year. But
It felt like Phase 4 knew Marvel was dying, and they were just like, throw everything we possibly can at the wall, make as much money and get out. And then Michael Eisner came back. He's like, no, you freaking morons. We can
Not
do
Eisner.
this if we do it right.
Not Eisner.
Not Eisner?
Definitely not Eisner. Bob Iger.
Eisner's busy with Quibi. Come on.
Yeah, we don't talk about Eisner.
I'm so bad with names.
We fucking hate Eisner here.
Eisner, grr.
Grr.
Yeah, that's my thoughts.
But
all in all, I think they've got a real shot at redemption.
This is only tangentially related, so I'll add it at the end as just kind of my PS. But
okay,
gross.
If you're not going to make Deadpool 3 rated R, you shouldn't make it at all, Disney. If
Oh,
you're going to
no,
make a
that's a
Disney
fact.
Deadpool 3, don't make it.
they confirmed that so long ago.
No, but I'm just saying Disney had, like, on so many levels has a problem with all of that, including even just releasing content that they made previous to this on Disney Plus that is got anything even kind of close to it. So even if they go soft R on it and they don't make it,
They should not go hard
Deadpool
R.
3,
That's just, you don't hard
That's not
R.
what I meant. That's
No,
not
we know
what I
what
meant.
you meant. I'm not gonna follow up that. Yeah, no, we know it.
My point is, if you're not willing to go all the way Deadpool, don't do it at all.
Confirmed.
Yeah,
Austin
no.
wants to go all the way hard R.
No, Bob Iger has come out and said that they want it to remain R-rated as long as we let the audience know what's coming. So
Yeah, no, just
Take that as-
how do you possibly do Deadpool without? I can't
They
help
did-
but say it. Going hard R.
they
This
did
is
a
my point.
PG-13 version of the second movie. So was it good? I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Was it good? I don't know.
But yeah. Anyway, I'm excited. I think that was a really fun trailer. It's probably one of the better trailers you've had probably since the first trailer for Wakanda Forever. So I'm ready
Okay,
for that. But
Patrick, it's time for the big one. Set
You-
this bad boy up.
motherfucking betcha. I have skipped this trailer. Only thing I've seen today is stupid, sexy Ganondorf. I'm so
Stupid,
fucking-
sexy Ganondorf. I'm
He
ready
was
when
all
you
over-
are. Guys,
All over
it's
Twitter.
Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
It was all over Twitter. Everyone's thirsting for Ganondorf. It's like, where were you in Twilight Princess? Where were you in Ocarina of Time? Okay, you idiots. Anyway,
Okay, you
Enough.
idiots.
enough delaying. I've heard from many this is the sequel to the best trailer that we previewed before the stream started. Didn't finish because Austin's lame, but I'm excited for this. Anyway, let's go.
What am I lame? What did I do?
No,
So-
you're just lame in general.
Remember when we were
Alright.
testing this out and I played that Zelda trailer and you're like, let's move on.
That's not how that went.
That's how that went.
We were trying to test a feature.
No, that's how it went.
Okay, well, anyway, my thoughts are I don't care about Zelda anyway. So
All I'm
Patrick,
saying
you
is
look like a
that's
little tomato boy.
one of the greatest trailers of all time, and I've heard this is also up there. So anyway, let's jump in. I'm gonna turn y'all down actually. If I can. Never mind.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. It's stuck in my head now. I don't even know why. That robot is a
baseball
jerk.
bat.
You're a snake robot. Why do you even need to cut down trees?
Why is that snake wearing a skirt?
My boy Zelda.
Look, you guys. They fucking know what they're doing.
How do you possibly tear a kingdom?
Hmm.
Oh my god.
I do love real quick that he ran by that guy waving at him, just doesn't give him the time of day, just ignores him. Just jerk ass Link.
He's got to save his one true love, alright? He doesn't have time for that.
I have theories.
Is that Ganondorf?
Oh.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's the Medusa.
Oh, he's already got his weird arm at that point.
Girl Link.
Oh, I like that arm.
Sky Vikings.
Okay. Okay. Oh my god, let's go.
I don't know what any of this is, but Patrick seems to like it.
I don't either. That's the
I don't either.
What is that? Whoa.
This might be the best reaction I've ever seen to anything.
Oh my god, this is what happens when I don't watch him before stream.
Just never watch anything again. This is great.
We rely on your knight, and that legendary sword he carries. Our last line of defense will be Link.
Dude.
Who is this Link person? And why has he replaced Zelda as the main character?
Link.
Why does she say her own name?
The music. That's a sword shield, dude.
The Death Star.
Oh my god.
No, that's a horse. I like the time stopping aspect. That looks great.
Ah.
Don't know where he got a rocket ship though.
Oh, come
I like
on.
that there's a battle where you just have to poke him with a stick.
Oh, that's from the first? Wait, no. Oh, I'm gonna have to rewatch this a million times. What the fuck was that? Oh my god.
I know why I am here. It's something only I can do.
That's one of them tears.
Do not look
Oh,
Is it really? Wait, is it Tears of the Kingdom or is it Tears of the
It's
Kingdom?
Tears.
at
It's
the
Tears.
birth of his new world.
Here, I'm gonna
Like
backtrack
a-
because they were talking. I'm gonna
When did
backtrack
this
a little.
become an anime?
I know why I am here.
Did you play the first one?
It's something
I hate it when
only I
Americans
can
try
do.
and rip off animes.
Seriously.
Do not look
Hey,
away.
wait, when are they gonna speak again?
Witness a king's
Right
revival.
now, god damn you.
Birth of
Can do.
I'll be good this time.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his new world.
I love that crocodile, whatever the hell that was.
Oh my god. The fucking Zelda music, dude.
But you are not alone.
Ooh.
Link.
Oh.
You are our final hope.
It's weird that she's reminding herself that. Wait, it's not over.
Is that what sex feels like?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Link. You must find me.
Those are just random numbers.
Someone
Was
copy
Zelda's
and paste
lullaby in the end?
for a
Oh my
Link
God.
already.
Okay, Patrick. Show us what you got.
Oh my god. So, fucking Christ. Where do I
Stand up so we
start?
can make sure your pants are still dry.
They're dry.
No,
Maybe
don't
sweat,
stand up.
but-
I'm not willing to take that risk.
So, how do you follow up one of the best games of all
Oh my
time
God.
by making another one of the best games of all time? I have been a firm believer that this game will be almost as good as the last
Wait,
one.
but no,
I don't
this
know.
game isn't Halo 4 or Halo 5. What are you talking about?
That is
So-
a terrible take. That is a terrible take by you, John.
Oh no, that was made to get a reaction. That's all that was.
All sarcasm, I know. But that trailer, like, the thing with the last trailer that Austin wanted to skip so badly was it followed the same formula as this one does, where it shows you the world, shows you some of the traversal going on, and then it throws a bunch of story beats at you. And what I love about the first one is just because you got all those like voice clips and previews of what's going to happen in the game. You could largely skip a lot of that story in the first one and just go fight Ganon, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And it's awesome.
No, I
No.
hate all of that.
No, hate that.
And I don't know how they're going to approach that with this one, just because the story looks to be taking place more in the present than the last one did. It looks like you're fighting with a lot of the descendants of the champions that you met in the last game. It's like we'll be fighting alongside Sedan, we'll be fighting alongside
Hussein?
Wally, and that's not what I said. Not
He's
funny.
dead.
Oh, he died in the last game. That's right.
Yeah, but it looks like you'll be fighting. And this is something that we really haven't seen in Zelda. You'll be fighting alongside a companion, which seems kind of revolutionary for Zelda.
Nobody give Link any rope.
Nobody, but I'll be excited. I'll pick apart the story later. I think the gameplay that they showed looks absolutely nuts. They showed some of this a couple weeks ago with some of the new gadgets that you'll be able to play with, and just seeing some of that in action right here is like, I know that people are going to break this game in mind-bending ways, just like they did with the first one, and I'm really excited to see that happen. But it just looks, I'm ready to get lost in Hyrule again. That's all it is. That's all it comes down to, and I think this trailer really showcases that extremely well. So I'm excited. The story looks amazing. Ganondorf's back. Almost looks like Demise from Skyward Sword, which is Ganondorf's kind of way like ancestor that kind of starts all of the Zelda stuff. So it's I'll be curious to see where they go with the story in this one, just because Breath of the Wild kind of feels so separate from all the other Zelda games, while also feeling like an homage to all the other Zelda games. So I'll be curious to see where this one lands story wise. But all this to say, I'm very excited for this game. May 12th cannot come quick enough.
I have never played a single Zelda game, not even for a second. I don't know what any of them are about.
Dang.
About Zelda.
I mean, the games look beautiful. The gameplay looks like they've really nailed the niche they're in. But those images, those words mean nothing to me. I don't know what any of that just was. I like the trailer. The trailer bit looks amazing, but I don't deal well with open worlds.
Yeah.
Get lost too easily. It's my own problem.
I know that people love Breath of the Wild, and it's considered one of the best games of all time. However, I would place that game in the same boat as I do The Last of Us, and I would say that they are really good games, but they are not the best games to have been made. My big problem with the Breath of the Wild was always that it was mostly not a storied game. It is very thin, and it's more like just go experience the world, which is fine if that's what you're into. And a lot of people were into it. That's why it was so beloved. But wasn't for me. This one looks like, well, I should say, when I saw the first trailer for this one, it looked like it was Breath of the Wild 1.5. It didn't look to me like it had really taken that many steps. So I was concerned. This trailer, I'm less concerned. I think it looks like there's more of a story. There's more to the game than there was Breath of the Wild. And so that's intriguing. I'm not the biggest Zelda fan. I've played some of them, but it's not like the end all be all to me. But it looks like an improvement, and that's exciting.
Yeah, and that's what excites me the most, I think, about it. 'Cause what you touched on is that the first one is kind of bare on story. Like, you can go and seek it out, and the story that's there is really not, like, good, I think. But there's also plenty of stuff that they left unanswered. Like, there are hints to a different tribe of people called the Zonai, and it looks like we'll be getting to know them really well in this game. And it just looks like there's a lot more story and meat to this game. I don't want to say meat because there's plenty of meat to the last one. But
Yeah, I mean,
mostly meat, like, story-wise,
Well, and that's the thing with Breath of the Wild is like you get into a weird conversation when it comes to that. Like when I say that to most people, you come into a weird conversation because like there's like 250 puzzles and there's all of this and that, and I'm like,
yeah,
that's great. And if that's what you want to do, like if that's the gameplay for you, that's great. It's not connected to the bigger story all that well, other than like it makes you better for the final fight if you do the puzzles and all that. So like that's kind of my gripe with Breath of the Wild, and this one seems better connected story and gameplay.
Well, and I have a feeling we'll see like I don't know if we really saw a lot of shrines. Maybe there'll be dungeons. But also, a small problem with the last one, only like 4 dungeons, if you can even call them that. So I'm hoping for a little bit more of that. Maybe they do something. I don't know. That's just me wishing for something I don't know anything about yet. But I I expect we'll see something similar to Breath of the Wild, where it'll be the same kind of scale as to what the last one was, maybe a little bit bigger. I don't know how bigger you can go on the Switch though, but
Yeah, very true.
I'll be curious to see because I bet you there'll be something like the Korok seeds in this game where there's just a million of them and you don't need them at all, and they're not at all related to the story. So I bet you there'll be some of that in here, but I do think the story, because what it
Which
is for
all
me,
games have, right? I mean, there's
Mhm.
there's like collection hunting in every video game that's been made in the past 20 years.
Minecraft.
Exactly. So I'll be curious to see what the side objectives of this one are, what the equivalent of the shrines from the last one will be, because that was probably one of my favorite parts of the last game. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm very excited for this one. There's plenty. They're probably not showing, so
For sure.
I'm very excited.
Patrick, I'm glad to see you this happy. You look like a kid in a candy store.
That's me. Every time something Zelda related comes up, almost
Don't you
every
mean
time
Link?
something Zelda related comes up, sure. But nah, I just as far as Zelda games go, Breath of the Wild's towards the top for me. It really took what we all know and love about Zelda and just completely, I don't want to say completely changed it, but made it different, but also still felt so Zelda. So I don't know how you build off that. It looks like they're gonna do it and they're gonna nail it in this one. I Between this and Final Fantasy 16 that we also saw a little bit of today at the State of Play showcase earlier, we got 2 Game of the Year contenders right here. So, and I don't. Well, what else is coming out? Jedi Survivor's coming out.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Just
my bad.
a couple weeks. It's a couple weeks.
Actually, Jedi Survivor already came out.
Fuck, dude. Why am I not playing that right now? I'll see you later. Yeah, not 2 Game of the Year contenders right here, and I don't think it'll be close compared to the other stuff that's come out this year. Maybe Resident Evil 4.
Has Final Fantasy ever won?
14's won best ongoing game the last like 2 or 3 years. 14's won best on, but that's different.
I'm
'Cause
talking
15
like
wasn't good.
consensus game of the like. My only point being that I don't know that Final Fantasy has the broad appeal to be a Game of the Year candidate in the same way as
Well,
Link
and
and Zelda do.
you're not wrong, but last year the top 2 Game of the Year contenders were Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok. And I wouldn't say either of those have as much love as the Final Fantasy franchise does, especially something like Final Fantasy VII. Because they got motherfucking Florence and the Machine to make a song for Final Fantasy 15. And as much as I think that game is mid, they really tried pushing it hard. And, they still somewhat push Final Fantasy 14. They're trying to push 16. I bet you will see a whole lot of like stuff come out for that in the next couple of months. Because as far as like Game of the Year discussions go, the mass public zeitgeist doesn't necessarily have a factor in it. It'll be people that play games, and people that play games know Final Fantasy, and people that play games also, or at least in the games media side of things, people know the pedigree that's behind Final Fantasy 16. It's the people who work on Final Fantasy 14, and that game has some of the best stories in it, period, of anything. And this one has that mixed with some Devil May Cry like gameplay. So that looks solid just from the showcase I saw earlier today. So I think there's a lot going into this one that really excites a lot of people, myself included.
You don't say.
So listen, Yoshi P, my boy.
Now,
Shout out to
if you got any final thoughts, or that about the extent of your beliefs.
Well,
We can talk to the game of the year some other time.
Yeah,
We got
that'll-
plenty of time this year.
Yeah, no.
That's not going to.
You got
for
anything
sure.
else on Breath of the Wild?
That's
Mm.
we already talked about that. That's not this game. This is
Legend
only-
of Link.
Tears of the Kingdom. No, only other thing I want to point out is I think it's funny that when they announced the name of this game, they delayed the broadcast of the Nintendo Direct in England because it was the day, or at least the week that the Queen died.
Mm.
And so a lot of people kind of speculate, oh, it's Tears of the Kingdom. Why are they crying? Is Zelda gonna die? Is that why?
Did
they didn't
Zelda
want to
kill
show
the
it in
queen?
Europe? And so
That's not cool.
that would be suicide.
I just found it funny that they banned the broadcast of this, or at least for that day. They put it up the day after as a video, but they could just stream from a different Nintendo YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Look,
But,
exactly. They did something without doing anything.
Exactly. That's Nintendo for you.
But I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
a
big
pretty
time.
good jumping off point to take a quick fiver. We'll get set up on a round of For the King. But thank you guys so much for joining us. If you like what we're doing here, go ahead and follow us. Follow us here. Follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you up to date on when streams are coming out and what they're going to be. But
you know
this...
something?
Go ahead.
Oh, you keep going. I was just going to say, I'm going to
Okay.
post a story to our Instagram that we're live.
Oh, yeah. I guess Instagram also exists.